Hi girls, it's Casey here. I just wanted to do a little bit of training with you guys today. As you all know, I have just come back from Empower You in Brisbane, and I must say it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. So the training I'm going to give you today is not my content, so I need to give credit to Larissa Maher, who, if you don't know, she is the market representative for Australia and New Zealand. You can look her up and add her, and she is generally happy to talk to anyone if they have any specific questions, if there's something I can't answer or whatever. She is a beautiful lady. I got to meet her very briefly, but she did some amazing training, so this content is largely hers, and I'm just going to add my kind of thoughts and feelings into most of what we do. So she did her training mostly on achieving goals, and how to get yourself going, really. So it can be implemented not only into your business but into your life in general, really. And yes, she's just beautiful. So one of the first things she said was achieving goals isn't something that just happens. You have to work towards them. It's all right to have a goal. It's all right to say, yes, that's my goal, this is what I'm going to do, but you have to actually do the work to get there. You can't just say a goal and then expect it to magically happen. It just doesn't work like that. So she finds that Oprah Winfrey is one of her greatest inspirations. As we all know, Oprah had a pretty rough childhood. She's African American, so she already started on the back foot of life. But look what she's made herself into. She is just a phenomenon around the world and will continue to be for generations to come, I would think. So Oprah Winfrey said, the biggest secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal is, you can get there if you're willing to work, which just goes back to what I said. If you have a goal, you need to do the work to get there and achieve that goal. It's not just going to happen for you. Some great advice that Larissa gave us, and I am actually going to do it as well. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes as well. Define your goals. Write them down with pen and paper. Don't just think them, don't type them, write them down with pen and paper, because that activates your goal and activates your brain and instills it more into your brain. If you are actively using a pen and paper to write down your goals, they are more likely to stick in there, which I thought was great. I never thought of that, but that's something I'm going to be working on for myself over the next few days as well. And then under each goal, write in details the reason why you want to accomplish your goals. It's all right to have a goal, but there needs to be a reason why you want to achieve them. And that is probably what is going to keep you motivated to keep working towards them. And her biggest quote of the day is that your why needs to be bigger than your excuses, which is something I need to really think on, and I need to activate in my own life. Is the reason you want to do it has to be bigger than the reason you think you can't. But as we all know, as we've seen, anybody in this business can succeed. There is no failure if you do what you need to do. She also recommends breaking up your goals into smaller intermediary targets, which is a good thing to do. Also, I don't know if you've heard of SMART goals. It's something I use, and I was trained in my case management diploma, is when you're working with clients or working in your own life towards goals, they need to be SMART. So the S is specific. They need to be specific. Measurable, which means you have to be able to see a then and now type deal. You need to be able to see the difference. Achievable, that if you have this great big goal and you're heading towards it, you're going to feel like you're doing nothing but climbing a hill, and you're less likely to get there. You're more likely to give up. So make them small and measurable to get there. Achievable, they need to be achievable. Small and measurable, I was talking about achievable. So they need to be achievable. They need to be not easy necessarily to get to, but they need to be something that you know you can do. So it's a step by step process. relevant. They need to be relevant. Your smaller goals need to be relevant to your larger goals. They need to be working towards getting that larger goal. And they need to be time bound. So you need to say, this is my small goal. I want to reach it within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever. They need to have a bound, and you need to push yourself to ensure that you reach that goal before that time that you've given yourself. And something, a little tidbit, which I found awesome, and when I think back, it's so obvious. Achieving goals releases dopamine, which dopamine is a chemical in your brain, and it gives you the feeling of elation, of happiness, of all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was really good. So that's definitely something to work towards. If you're having a hard time, achieve a goal and you'll release dopamine. And achieving goals also helps with your motivation to keep going towards the next one, I find. So yeah, I thought that was brilliant. I did not know that, and now that I know that, it makes perfect sense, and it's something I'm going to keep working towards for myself, in not only in my business but in my very own life. Okay, next thing is accountability. Are you fully accountable? We're all responsible for our own life, our own goals, our own achievements, our own failings. No one else can be responsible for that. You need to take control of that. You need to be consistent and persistent. That's on you. That's not your upline's responsibility. It's not your downline's responsibility. It's you. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. You need to do what you need to do yourself. And another good quote from Larissa that I loved was, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. In this business and in life itself, we need to make sacrifices. Yes, at the beginning of your network marketing business, or at the beginning of anything even, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to go without certain things. Whitney, husband, was saying that she went without TV for her first 6 months in the company. She DVR'd everything. And then for a couple of weeks after she hit black status, then she caught up on all her programs she had missed prior to that 6 month period. So you have, if you're, put it this way, if you're wanting to save a deposit to buy a house, you're going to have to go without. You're going to have to go without those weekly nights out, those, those flash clothes you want, that new straightener, or whatever. You have to make sacrifices in order to get what you want. And in this business, it's no different. You will have to sacrifice time. You will have to, there's lots of things that you could sacrifice. TV time, the list goes on. It's up to you what you're willing to sacrifice if you want to get to the top. Another thing she said was, you need to predetermine how you plan to deal with your lack of motivation. So if you're having a really, if things aren't really going the way you want to, you're going to probably end up with times where you're going to lack in motivation to keep going. Those are the times you need to predetermine before you get to that how you're going to deal with that. Is that finding yourself a pacing partner or a new pacing partner if you've already got one? Is that speaking to your sponsor or your upline? Is that attending team meetings? Is that, watching stories, empowering stories online? Is that, there's plenty of things you can do to re-peak your motivation. So my challenge to you is to sit down and work out, what are you going to do when you're having one of those times when there's just no motivation there and you're just like, ugh. Because I have them all the time. You need to predetermine what you're going to do to get yourself through that, because otherwise you're just going to fall off, and that's not going to get anyone anywhere. I don't want to lose anybody. Come speak to me. If you need motivation, come speak to me. Speak to each other. Speak to, Kylie, Bree. There is a way to push through it, and you just have to work out what you're going to do in those times before you get there. Another thing Larissa said was, you need to be prepared to change course and methods because things change. If you've got this plan in your head and you're like, this is how I'm going to do it, and it doesn't work, you need to be prepared to go back, reevaluate, and try something different. And don't ever come and tell me that you've tried everything, because you haven't. If you've tried everything, you wouldn't be in that mindset right then. So, a good book Larissa actually recommended, which I have ordered yesterday, is called 7 Habits of Highly Effective Leaders by Stephen R. Covey. Apparently he talks a lot about how to become a leader and the different habits that they have that pushes them in that direction. And I have a sneaky suspicion that I have a few good leaders down there in my team, so I'm pretty excited for all of you to see how far you can come. One of the things she spoke about was attitude. The only thing you can control is your attitude, and attitude is everything. Make sure that your attitude is supporting your goals. If you're like, yes, I want to get to green status, but this is so hard and I can't find anything and there's nothing I can do to make it better and blah, 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 it's not going to get you anywhere. You need to change your attitude. Your attitude needs to be supportive of your goals. So you need to put things in a more positive, spin them in a more positive aspects, like, yes, this is hard, but this is what I'm going to do to change it. This is what I'm going to do to move forward. This is what I'm going to do this. Like, if you start training your brain to have a more positive outlook on anything in life, then you will feel better, you will do better, and things will naturally progress towards success. Another great Oprah quote, actually, from that Larissa shared with us, and I thought this was brilliant, and definitely something that I'm going to print out and plaster all over my house, because I am just as bad at bad attitudes as the next person. I've had a lot going on this year in my life, as some of you know, and I need to change my attitude from this year can go shit itself, I'm sick of it, and there's nothing I can do, blah, blah, blah. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change their future by merely changing their attitude. And that is so true. If you think about it, if you are going to sit there and be negatively geared and think of blah, all the bad things that are going wrong or can go wrong, then that is exactly what you're going to attract to your life. If you change it to, okay, that didn't work, but I'm going to try this and this is how I'm going to succeed, then you will automatically feel so much better. And like I said, that's something I'm definitely going to be doing in my own life to succeed, and in not only my business, but in my chaotic life in general. So that was really good too. Sorry, I'm just moving my notes around. A good suggestion, and this is actually something that was suggested to me many, many, many years ago, and I kind of did it for a little bit, but stopped doing it, but I'm going to go back to doing it, and I've got the perfect book for it, actually. Start a gratitude diary. Every single day before you go to bed, write down 5 things that you're grateful for. 5 things, and you will find them. Are you grateful that you woke up? Are you grateful that you had food in your belly? Are you grateful that you have a roof over your head? Are you grateful that you made that cool sale today and now you've got enough money to get petrol or dinner or whatever? You will find, if you think about it, 5 things every single day that you can be grateful for. Are you just grateful that you can walk? Simple but effective, and that will help start training your brain to think in a more positive aspect and give you a good foundation to build on. Something that I need to actually go back and listen to, but there is a YouTube video and a book and a ton of stuff called The Secret. I highly recommend that. Affirmations. Speak affirmations every day, but when you do them, speak them in present tense. Like, don't say one day I will make green status. I will make green status. Don't say in the future I'm going to buy a house. I am buying a house. So speak them in the present tense. Speak them into your life. What you put out is what you'll get back. Which is not only something that Larissa said, it's something that I've learned by the little bit of The Secret that I've learned, and things like that. So that is about it. Sorry, I'm just looking over at my computer screen at messages coming in left, right and centre, but that's cool. That is it from Larissa's first lot of training. I am going to be doing more videos on different trainings. So I want to set a challenge to you to come up with your why. And whether you send it to me individually or you post it in the group under this video or something like that, tell me what your why is. And I don't want to hear my kids are my why. Cool. What about your kids? What do you want to provide for them? What I want details. I don't. Yeah. Like I said, and I think Whitney is one that says it, and probably a few others, is if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Quite simple. And I'm going to do one. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to think about it today, and I'm absolutely going to do one. And I've got a few ideas of my why already. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening to me. If you have any questions, pop them in the comment section below. And I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.